Welcome to the Low Cost Tradelines podcast, where we teach you smart, affordable ways to build real credit and real financial power.
That's right. No scams, no shortcuts, just real strategies that actually work. We're talking about building a foundation, something sustainable that actually gives you leverage in the financial world.
And today we're breaking down one of the most underrated credit building tools out there, the Navy Federal Pledged Loan. Seriously, Monica, this is a secret weapon that too many people just don't know about or understand how powerful it is.
It really is, Jamal. And before we even get into the how, let's talk about the why. Because I think a lot of people still don't grasp the true power of credit. Let's keep it real. Bad credit can block your blessings. You can have the income, the ambition, the drive, but without strong credit, doors stay closed. It's not just about loans, is it? It's about everything.
Exactly. Credit isn't just a score, it's your financial reputation. Think about it. Applying for an apartment, getting a car loan with a decent interest rate, even landing certain jobs. Some employers actually check credit reports now, believe it or not. It paints a picture of your reliability, your responsibility. And today we're showing you how to rebuild that reputation or build it from scratch using your own money, which is the safest, smartest way to do it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen so many people hit a wall, they've got a good job, they're making good money, but because of a few missteps in the past, or maybe they just never built credit, they can't get approved for that house they want, or they're stuck with a crazy high interest rate on a car. It's frustrating, and it feels unfair sometimes, but the system is the system, and we have to learn to navigate it.
That's right, and it's not about being stuck. It's about understanding the rules and using them to your advantage. Which brings us to our main topic, the Navy Federal Pledge Loan. So Monica, break it down for the people. What exactly is a pledge loan?
Okay, so at its core, a pledge loan, especially with Navy Federal, is ingeniously simple. You're essentially borrowing your own money to build your credit profile. It sounds a little counterintuitive at first, right? Like, why would I borrow my own money? But there's a method to the madness, and it's brilliant for credit building.
Yeah, it really is. Here's how it works for anyone who's hearing this for the first time. You decide on an amount, let's say $250, $500, or even $1,000. You deposit that money into a special savings account at Navy Federal. They hold that money, that exact amount, as collateral. It's essentially secured by your own funds. Then, here's the magic part. They loan you the exact same amount back. So if you deposited $500, they loan you $500.
And it's a secured loan, so the risk for them is zero because they already have your money. And here's the key. You make small, regular monthly payments on that loan, just like you would any other loan. And every single payment, on time, gets reported to the major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, as a real installment loan. This isn't some shady workaround. This is a legitimate financial product.
Exactly. So you're not going into debt in the traditional sense because the money you borrowed is already yours, sitting there as collateral. You're just paying yourself back, essentially. But to the credit bureaus, it looks like you successfully managed and paid off an installment loan. It's like a simulated credit experience, but with real-world reporting and real-world credit score benefits.
Right, so you're not going into debt, you're building discipline, you're building a payment history, and you're demonstrating responsibility without the typical risks associated with taking on new debt. It's brilliant for people who are just starting out, or for those who need to repair a damaged credit history. It takes the fear out of it because the money is secured.
Absolutely. You're using the system the smart way. It's strategic. And the best part is, once you've paid it all back, you get your initial deposit back. So you get your money back and you've built your credit. It's a win-win situation, truly.
It sounds too good to be true for some people, I'm sure, but it works. Now, Jamal, you recommend Navy Federal so much. I mean, we constantly talk about them. Why specifically Navy Federal? What makes them a game changer in this space compared to, say, a regular bank or another credit union?
That's a great question, Monica, and it's crucial because Navy Federal isn't just another financial institution. They are relationship-based. They genuinely reward consistency and loyalty. When you become a member, they look at you differently. They understand that sometimes people need a hand up, not just a cold shoulder because of past credit issues. They build trust with their members.
So it's not just transactional, it's about seeing the person, not just the number. I like that.
Exactly. And what we see time and time again is that people start with a relatively small pledge loan, maybe $300 or $500, to get their foot in the door. They make those consistent, on time payments for 6 months, sometimes even less. And because Navy Federal sees that positive activity, they start opening up more opportunities.
And this is where it gets really exciting, right? Because it's not just about one pledge loan, it's a stepping stone.
That's it. 6 months later, or sometimes a little longer, those same members who started with a small pledge loan suddenly qualify for some incredible things. High limit credit cards, auto loans with great rates, personal loans for emergencies or projects, even business funding if they're entrepreneurs. You're not just building a credit score, you're building bank trust. You're establishing a relationship with a financial institution that will actually grow with you.
That's a huge distinction. I mean, going to a regular bank when you have low credit, it can feel like you're begging. They see you as a risk, and it's an uphill battle. But Navy Federal seems to actively look for ways to help their members succeed financially once they show that initial commitment. That's powerful. And it ties into who can even join Navy Federal, right? It's for military members, veterans, and their families, which creates this built-in community and trust.
Absolutely, that community aspect is key. They serve a specific group, and they serve them well. It's not just a pledge loan. It's an entry point into a whole ecosystem of financial products designed to support their members. That's why we shout them out so much. It's a genuine pathway to financial empowerment.
Okay, so we know what it is and why Navy Federal is the place to do it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk results. Why does this specific strategy work so well in boosting your credit score? What's the mechanism behind it?
Great question, Monica. There are 3 big reasons this works so effectively for your credit score, especially if you're looking for a significant bump. The credit bureaus, and by extension, the FICO scoring model, love to see these things.
Lay it on us.
First and foremost, payment history. This is the biggest factor in your credit score, accounting for about 35% of your FICO score. Every single on-time payment you make on that pledge loan is a positive mark on your credit report. It shows lenders you are reliable, responsible, and capable of managing debt. Consistently hitting those payments month after month is pure gold for your score.
And since it's an installment loan, it's a fixed payment, which makes it easier to manage than, say, a credit card where your payment can fluctuate depending on your balance.
Precisely. That consistency is key. Second reason, credit mix. Your credit mix makes up about 10% of your FICO score. Lenders like to see that you can handle different types of credit. If you only have credit cards, adding an installment loan like a pledge loan diversifies your credit profile. It shows you can manage both revolving credit like credit cards and installment credit like a car loan or personal loan. This is super valuable, especially if you currently have a thin credit file